What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of 101 Sports and Cards. Always, I'm Nathan Holloway, and with me, Jared Dresch.
What's up?
So we got a lot to cover today. We're going to start out in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is out for the season after suffering a torn Achilles. So, a tough blow for them. You don't want to hear my thoughts on it, because you won't be very happy. Yeah. The question is, should the Jets stick with Zach Wilson or sign or trade for someone else?
Stick with Zach. Give him another chance.
I also agree with that.
He's got a better team than what he was
There's
with.
people saying that they should be calling Tom Brady's agent. Tom Brady's not. Tom Brady he's in the Patriots Ring of Honor now. You're supposed to wait 5 years. Robert Kraft, their owner, went ahead and said he's in there already. They're just going to have the ceremony next season.
Yeah.
Wouldn't look very good to go to the Jets, the Patriots' biggest rival in the Jets. And it's not going to happen. Brady doesn't want to play.
And Patrick hates the Jets.
Yeah. So week 1 recap. The Lions beat the Chiefs on Thursday night 21-20. The Chiefs, of course, were without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, and Kadarius Toney had 3 dropped passes. He was the sole reason they lost. Chris Jones signed a 1-year deal after the game, so he should be back this weekend. And probably the best game of the weekend, the Dolphins beat the Chargers 36-34. Tua, 466 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. 466 passing yards is the third most ever in an opening game. Tyreek had 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Chargers had 234 rushing yards, which was the most in week 1. The Packers beat the Bears 38-20 behind Jordan Love's 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was one of only 3 quarterbacks to throw for 3 touchdowns this week. Of course, the others being Tua and Mac Jones. He looked really good. It's also the Bears. The Browns shut down the Bengals 24-3. Joe Burrow only had 82 yards. It's a really bad game. I watched it. It was terrible. The Buccaneers upset the Vikings despite 344 yards and 2 touchdowns from Kirk Cousins and 150 yards from Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison did get his first career touchdown. What were your thoughts on this game?
Embarrassing.
Yeah. The Saints beat the Titans in Derek Carr's debut. The Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. Bryce Young, his first game, was rough. 146 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Bijan's first game, 83 total yards and a touchdown. The Jaguars came back on the Colts. They won 31-21. Calvin Ridley, 101 yards and a touchdown in his debut. Him and Lawrence are going to be a problem. Anthony Richardson had the best week 1 of any rookie quarterback. He had 263 total yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. He did get hurt on the final drive of the game because he doesn't know how to slide. The 49ers blew out the Steelers 30-7. 49ers look like the best team in football. The Commanders held off the Cardinals 20-17. This was sad. The Cardinals are so bad. But apparently the Commanders are too. The Ravens dominated the Texans 25-9. C.J. Stroud had 242 yards, no turnovers in his debut. The Raiders down the Broncos in Jimmy G's debut, 17-16. The Eagles held off the Patriots 25-20. Their offense looked terrible. The Patriots' offense looked great. Their defense looked really good. The biggest upset, the Rams upset the Seahawks 30-13. Who saw this coming? We didn't. The Cowboys shut out the Giants 4-0. This was for some reason I watched this whole game. I don't know why. Their defense and special teams dominated. Dak looked terrible, to be honest, but they didn't even need him. The Jets beat the Bills in overtime on a walk-off punt return touchdown. Of course, Josh Allen had 3 interceptions. What's new? Maybe eventually some of you people will realize Josh Allen's not that good. He just has the most turnovers since he was drafted in 84. So week 2, I have 6 games. There's some other solid division games. I just wasn't going to put them on here because, yeah, I picked the best games. The best games. Although one of these games is going to be very bad. It's just, Vikings-Eagles.
Eagles.
I'm also going with the Eagles. That's on Thursday night. So tonight, whenever you're listening to this. Packers and Falcons, 2 of the best young teams in the league. I think this is going to be a very good game.
Yeah. I'm going Falcons.
Not the Packers. Ravens and Bengals. The Bengals looked like trash the first week. They were also in terrible wet weather conditions. The Ravens looked okay against the Texans. This is probably this is going to be the battle for the division race this year. Ravens or Bengals?
I'm going Bengals. Let's figure it out.
I'm going with the Ravens. Chiefs and Jaguars, a rematch of last year's AFC semifinal game.
Give me the Jags.
I'm also taking the Jags. Colts and Texans. This is the game I was talking about that won't be that good, but it will be the first time we see Anthony Richardson versus C.J. Stroud. Who wins?
Colts.
I'm also going with the Colts. And Dolphins and Patriots. The Patriots looked really good last week. The Dolphins arguably looked like them. I think the Dolphins win. I think it will be very close, though. So, yeah, enjoy week 2. So happy football's back. Go Pack. Moving on to the association. The USA failed to medal in the FIBA World Cup, which is just embarrassing. Germany won gold over Serbia. Of course, Dennis Schroeder won MVP. If only you could play like that in the league. Canada won the bronze over the USA after Dylan Brooks dropped over 40 points on us. I don't know how that happens. So yeah, this is very disappointing, but there are supposed to be a lot of big name players playing in France in the Olympics in 2024. LeBron said that he would. Booker said he would. Durant. Curry's even contemplating playing in his first Olympics. So we'll be back. The NBA approved a policy today that teams are unable to rest 2-star players in the same game at the same time. If they do, the first offense is a $100,000 fine. After that, it goes up by $150,000. Of course, a star player defined by the NBA is someone who has made the All-Star or All-NBA teams in any of the last 3 seasons. So, this is kind of trying to combat
Kawhi.
Yeah. Basically, they should just call it the Kawhi rule.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not load management, it's Kawhi. Do you like this?
No, because you do need the rest sometimes. I think it's kind of dumb.
But I mean, you can still rest players. You just can't rest 2 of them in the same game. So you're not gonna see. Go to a Clippers game. You're gonna see at least Paul George or Kawhi, as long as one of them's not hurt, which is never. So I like it for that reason. I'd like to see other things with it, especially like back-to-backs. Although there's barely any back-to-backs, but overall I like it. Something I do not like. Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested for domestic violence charges against his girlfriend. He fractured her vertebrae. She is a WNBA player. Kevin Porter Jr. is being investigated by the NBA. The Rockets are probably going to cut him. This is his 3rd domestic violence offense in his career. He had one at USC. He had one his rookie year. If he could get the off the court stuff figured out, he's a very good ball player.
Yeah.
He's
an idiot.
More than likely his career's probably over.
Yeah.
The Spurs, we made some news. We cut Cameron Payne, and so saw a backup point guards out available, and there are reports saying from The Athletic that we will start Wemby at power forward with Zach Collins starting at center. God help us. Hey, all I got to say, if we're doing that, please put Trey Jones on the bench, Jeremy Sohan at point guard. We have a Sohan, Vassell, Keldon, Wemby, Zach Collins. Love that. Now, baseball, the Nationals extended Mike Rizzo today. They also called up Jackson Rutledge for his first career start tonight against the Pirates. Of course, they did this because Mackenzie Gore just went on the IL. You know who else? We released Lucius Fox.
Dang it.
Been in like AA all year. Some other call-ups. The Cubs called up Pete Crow Armstrong. I know you're very excited.
I love Pete.
He had a SportsCenter top 10 play.
He's had
last
2.
night.
He's a very good defender. The
Rangers called up Evan Carter. He's been playing very well since being called up. And the Diamondbacks called up Jordan Lawler. I've not heard anything about him.
He's actually playing pretty
since being called up. But you don't hear anything about the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Jason Dominguez is out for the year with a UCL injury. It's very disappointing. He was playing unbelievably well. It sucks.
Just another Yankees disappointment.
Yeah.
He'll be out for probably the half of next year, too.
Otani, talking about a UCL injury, he is still dealing with an oblique injury to go along with his UCL.
Just shut him down for you. Shut him down.
And talking about the Angels, Ohtani's going to leave. Ohtani wants to play. His agent's keeping out of these games because he knows he's going to leave. With him more than likely leaving, the Angels are open to trading Mike Trout if he asks out. Mike, please ask out.
Yeah, but no one's going to take that contract on. That's the thing.
Nobody's going to take his injuries.
And his contract. And you have to
there is one guy who will. The Mets owner will take him.
They don't have much in the farm system to give up anymore. The already old team has it as now.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know if he gets traded. I really don't know if he does.
Matt Olson is the first player to hit 50 home runs. He leads the league with 51 and tied the Braves single-season home run record.
By Andrew Jones.
The Orioles lead the Rays by 3 games. The Astros lead the Rangers by 1 game. The Mariners by 1.5. The Braves are the first team to clinch a playoff berth.
No surprise.
The Brewers lead the Cubs by 4 games. The wild card races are great. In the AL, the Rays are up 8.5 games. The Rangers are up just half a game. And the Mariners and Blue Jays are tied for the final spot. It is between them 4 teams because the Red Sox and Yankees are both 7 games back, and they're not going to make a run.
Yeah.
The Phillies are up 3.5 games in the NL wild card. The Cubs, I don't know why I put the Bubs. The Bubs are up. The Cubs are up 2. They should be up more, but they lost to the Rockies yesterday.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks are up 1 over the Reds. The Giants and Marlins are 1.5 games back. So these teams, besides like the Phillies, can't lose too much, especially the Diamondbacks, Reds, Giants, and Marlins.
Yeah. Because we're all bound for the last spot.
Yeah.
Because pretty much the Phillies got lapped up, and the Cubs probably haven't lapped up. Because those schedules pretty easy.
It's not the Cubs. It's the Bubs. I'm going to start calling them the Bubs now. I can't believe I did.
At least you didn't have to submit this to me, Will.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bubs!
We're on to college football. My Wisconsin Badgers were ranked 19th. We're no longer ranked 19th because we lost to Washington State because our quarterback sucks. So, while I was going on with Bucky the Badger and us winning the, competing for a natty this year, we're not going to. That's a really, really bad loss. Number 20, Ole Miss beat number 24, Tulane, 37-20. It was a great game. I was really hoping the Green Wave would have pulled it out, but they did not. Miami upset number 23, Texas A&M, 48-33. And number 11, Texas dominated number 3, Alabama, 34-24. The score doesn't look like they dominated, but they did. It was not even a game. It was a good game to watch. Like, Texas looked really good. The rankings, the new rankings. Georgia is 1. Michigan stays 2. Florida State is up to 3. Texas moves from 11 to 4. USC is 5. Ohio State fell to 6. The biggest movers, Texas up 7 spots to 4. Colorado moved up 4 spots to 18 after their win over Nebraska. And Ole Miss up 3 spots to 17. The biggest fallers, Alabama, dropped down 7 spots to number 10. UNC dropped down 3 spots to 20. And Wisconsin, Texas A&M, Tulane, and Clemson all fell from the top 25. This week, week 3, I have no matchups because there's no top 25 matchups. And I didn't really see any games that were going to be upsets. So
yeah. This is a bowling week for college football.
It is.
Dawn of luck.
You know, another sports, Tyler Reddick won at Darlington.
Woo!
So we're going to look at the...
He actually won a non-multiples.
Yeah, I know. Surprising. We're going to look at the point standings.
Who did we pick to win?
At Darlington?
No, the whole thing.
I have no idea.
Oh, I picked Byron, didn't I?
I don't. I picked Truex, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, he got wrecked. Well, he wrecked himself.
He didn't get wrecked. Yeah. So right now, of course, Larson and Reddick are in. Hamlin is plus... Here, I'm going to tell you. Hamlin, Byron, Keselowski, Blaney, Kyle Busch. They're all going to move on unless they just absolutely suck this weekend at Bristol, which could happen. Chastain is up 18. Busher and Bell up 13. Logano up 12. Harvick is up 7. On the outside looking in, Truex is -7 after finishing last week. Bubba Wallace -19. Stenhouse -22. Basically has to win, and Michael McDowell does have to win. He is -40. So we are heading to Bristol.
It's Bristol.
for the night race.
Yes.
The best race of the year.
Will you be watching it?
In my opinion. Oh, hell yeah, I will. I have nothing going on Saturday. I will be watching this. I love this. So, who wins at Bristol this weekend?
Kyle Lawson.
He's a master. He's a master at Bristol.
He's a master of short tracks.
I'm not talking about Kyle Larson. He's the master at Bristol right now. Kyle Busch gets on the right track and wins, and Truex does move on. Fortunately, I picked Harvick to make the championship for. I believe he does not make it, which is unfortunate. Scott Dixon won at where?
Laguna Seca.
Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca. Scott Dixon won. Pillow won the championship. The IndyCar season is officially. F1 is at Singapore this weekend. Who wins?
Max Verstappen.
Sergio Perez. I've not picked Max once, and I never will. Novak Djokovic beat Medvedev for his 25th career major. Coco Gauff won her first major. So congrats to them. The WNBA playoffs start tonight. Who is your pick to win the WNBA finals?
The Aces.
I'm also going with the Aces. I've not watched the game. Don't plan on it.
I don't know, man. I might turn it on tonight, too.
Actually, I usually watch the finals. So, yeah. Underrated team, the Washington Mystics. Was a 7 seed.
Why, because of Lana Del Don?
Yes.
I thought she was injured.
No, she's healthy. Finally. She's finally healthy. 2-time MVP. That is all I have. I said this was going to be long. Wasn't that long. Kind of blew through everything. So, yeah. Enjoy football this weekend. Enjoy Bristol this weekend. It's Bristol, baby. Enjoy college football.
You want to go to Bristol?
I've been to Bristol.
Yeah, you want to go again?
I'd love to. That's about everything. Enjoy baseball.
That's about it.
Last 2 weeks. 2 weeks of the regular season.
Let's go, Cincy. Let's make a playoff push. To win the World Series.
Hey, let's go Nats. We've been struggling. We're still only the 3rd worst team in the NL. We're still better than the Cardinals. Jackson Rutledge, I hope he does great tonight.
Long time coming.
Yeah.
It's about time. You know, the thing is, he's only like 24, but it seems like he's been in the minors for like 6 years. But it's only been like 4 years. 3 or 4 years.
I mean, he should have been up at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We're pitching Jonah Doan.
He's good, man.
Nobody's ever said that. Shut up. Jonah Doan sucks. He's terrible. He's the worst pitcher in baseball. He is worse than Alek Manoah. Except Alek Manoah isn't even in the MLB anymore. But he'd still be worse. I want to see a matchup. Manoah versus Jonah Doan.
Who gives up more home runs?
Jonah Doan. No doubt. That's all I have. Enjoy every sport that's going on this weekend. Thank you for listening. Come back here next week. As always, peace.